Hey guys, so recently we were speaking in the office about what our favourite games were growing up, and a lot of us said it was noughts and crosses. So it's inspired an idea for us to make a noughts and crosses game out of clay. So we're going to show you how we're going to do it. We've got a massive lump of clay here. We have a rolling pin, we have 2 mini cutters, so we've got different shapes. We've got PVA to do a PVA wash at the end to make it all nice and shiny. We've got toothpicks here so we can draw on any intricate details. We have paintbrushes and we have some acrylic paint. So we're gonna get started and show you how we're gonna make it. We need to basically create a plate that the game's gonna sit on. And the plate needs to be big enough to have 9 of these basically sat on it. So we need to kind of do the maths a little bit. So I'm gonna just start by getting a big chunk of clay off this massive pile of clay that we have here. I'm gonna roll it out and basically see where we get to. And then go both ways. And then when you're sort of happy with how it's looking this side, you're just gonna peel it off the table. It does get a bit stuck, so you have to be patient with it. Kind of ease under it as you go. And then we're gonna flip it over, roll it the other way so that it's all even on both sides. Just gonna move to a clean bit of table. And obviously we have our tablecloth on here to protect the table underneath because we don't want to damage it. And we've just used a kitchen rolling pin, so if you've got an old one that your parents don't mind you using, then you can grab that from your kitchen drawer. Right, happy with how that looks. I'm gonna just roughly place where I think, so that's the edge, leave a bit of a gap, mark it out to a bit more space there. And then space, 2, 3. So with our butter knife, we are going to basically cut away all the spare, like so, all the way down. And you can peel away the extra. Going in where we've marked it off, cut that away. Right, so that is the base of our game. Peel that off, way. And then I've actually got a paper plate here, and this is so we've got somewhere for it to dry. I'm gonna pop that on there now, and I'm just gonna smush away any edges that I'm not quite happy with. And a good top tip here is to put your finger in some water, and then you can just smooth away anything like that. All of these creases and cracks, it just helps to stick it all back in. So any little marks that you're not quite loving, and it's good as new. And then with our toothpick, we're going to just score the board game on. Not going the whole way through. Okay, so there you have the first part of the game. So now we need to make the noughts and crosses, but instead we're doing a heart and a horse. So now we're going to stamp out our noughts and crosses, but instead we're using our pony and our heart. And if you don't know how to play noughts and crosses, you basically need to get 3 in a row and then you win. So we obviously have 9 squares on the board. So we don't need 9 of each, but you do want to have some spares in case you drop some, or they break, or you lose some, or whatever the reason you don't have enough. So we're gonna make spares just in case. So I'm gonna try and get, I don't know, 5 of each maybe. So we'll start with our heart. Peel it away, and then hey, we have 1 heart. Obviously you want to try and use as much of the clay as you can, so try and get as close to the edge as possible. And then again, peel it away. And then these are cool because you can actually press the button and it pops out. So it does make our life a bit easier. Okay, and then we're gonna do 6 little ponies. These are a bit more difficult to do. Right, this is failing miserably. So I might abort mission and use a different stencil. So we're going to try using the horseshoe instead because it's a bit easier to poke out. So let's see how we get on with this. We did test it to see if it would still be the same size on the board, and it is, so that was very lucky. And peel it away. And then what I can do is poke out this bit first, and then push it through gently. And hope that it comes out. Oh, there we go. Right, one horseshoe. So we've just cut out all the stencils. As you can see, it's a very grubby job. So we're gonna actually leave these now to dry for probably 2 to 3 days. And then we're gonna come back next week and we're gonna paint them. So we will see you next week. So guys, we are 3 days on and the clay's dry. They've come out really cute, the little hearts. And the horseshoes look really nice. So we are ready to decorate. So we've got loads of different paints here, loads of different colours. We've got some paintbrushes and some glitter in case we want to do some glitter. Some PVA glue that we're going to use if we want to stick on the glitter, and a bit of cardboard just so that we can mix some paints on here. So let's get decorating. So I'm going to start with the plate, which basically makes up the base of our board game. And I think I'm going to do this like a light purple or like a baby purple. And then we can do the hearts, maybe a pink colour, and the horseshoes a blue colour, just so that they are totally different. So we're going to start with the plate. So to make the purple, we're going to do quite a bit of blue. So start off with the blue colour. And then a little bit of red. And also a little bit of white because we want it to be quite a light colour. Here we go. Quite a big paintbrush here because it's quite a big surface area, so we may as well just get it painted. So let's mix this and see what we're looking like. Right, let's see. Right, so I made a bit of a mess, but I'm happy with the result of this. So let's get painting. I'm going to also do the sides. Think that looks pretty good to me. I'm making the crevices just really obvious. So I'm going in with my toothpick basically to just push the paint right in. Just makes it look really clean. This paint dries so quickly. Right, so I'm gonna pop that to the side to dry. It probably will take half an hour or so, and then we can come back to it. Right, so next we have our little pieces of the game. So I'm gonna put the horseshoes to one side, and I'm gonna start with our little hearts. So I'm going to make a baby pink colour. So to make the pink for the hearts, I've gone in with some red, and then I'm also gonna mix in some white, and I want it to be quite a baby pink. So gone in with quite a lot of white. And then I'm going to get a clean brush and I'm gonna mix this in together. And basically keep mixing until you've got all of the paint mixed in, so you don't have any random patches of red or of white. And then you might get a bit grubby doing this. So you can always go in and do a second layer if you miss any patches, because it is quite fiddly to do. I'm going to go in and do a second layer once that's dried. Just going to pop that over here. And then I'm going to go in and make the baby blue for my horseshoes now. So I've got a dark blue and a white here, and my clean paintbrush, and I'm going to mix those up. And that's really nice blue already. And then we can go in and paint. So this is a very, very mucky job. I've got it everywhere. It's on my forehead that I just had to wipe away. So be prepared. And these horseshoes did look a bit ugly, but the paint fixes a lot of things. So if your dry clay isn't looking the prettiest, don't worry. You can always spruce it up with a bit of paint and a bit of glitter. So the horseshoes are all painted. I'm really happy with those colours, look really lovely. So I'm just waiting for them to dry, and then we're going to add on some glitter detailing. So to do this, I'm going to grab a toothpick, and we've also got our PVA glue here. And what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to get some glue on the toothpick, and then I'm going to draw on some patterns and some nail holes on the horseshoes and just bring them to life a little bit. So for this, I think what I'm going to do is draw like a mini heart, kind of like the middle of the heart. So we have a second heart. So we're going to do a blob, and we're going to fill it in. So we've got the first one there, and we've got this fine purple glitter, and we're just going to sprinkle that on, and then shake away the excess, and you have a purple heart. The glitter has literally gone everywhere. I am covered. It's all in my hair, all on my face, but it's fine. So we're going to do something similar, but for the horseshoes, and we're going to do little nail holes. So I'm thinking 3 on each side, and then we can use some silver glitter for this one, so they're a little bit different. So same thing, we're going to go in with our PVA glue, just with our toothpick, and get some on our end. And then we're going to do 3 little spots each side. Perfect. And then we're going to go in with our silver glitter and sprinkle that over the top.
Just let it rain.
Right, trust the process. And then tap it off. And then we've got that. And then what we can do now is go in again with another clean toothpick. And you can basically just clean away the excess. So you've got 3 distinct nail holes, and that will obviously be where the nails sit on the shoe. Perfect. So we're going to do that for the rest of them. So those are all done. We're going to pop those to the side, and just to finish off, now that our plate has dried, we are going to PVA wash it, basically just to make it all shiny, and then we are finished. So to do this, we're going to get some water, and we are literally going to put some PVA glue in the water. We probably want about a 50-50 split. Just try and keep that as tidy as possible. We're going to go in with a clean brush, mix that all in. And then once that's all mixed in, we're just going to go over and paint it, basically. And this is just going to create a really nice glossy finish to the plate. Right, so that's all perfect. Make sure we get all the sides. Make sure it's all nice. Go through all the cracks. Done. And then we can again leave that to dry on the side. And for the little counters, now that we've gotten rid of all the glitter around the outside, we're going to dunk it in our PVA wash, and this will just help to seal in all of the glittery bits. Perfect, and then you can put it to the side to dry. So that is the noughts and crosses game made. We're just waiting for the PVA wash to dry, and then I will show you the finished look.